Hey guys, hope you're doing well today. So in this video, I'm going to be modifying the jacks for my 4-post lift that I just bought. So I explained it in another video that they're too high. So I've come up with a solution to modify them and make them work right. So let me show you what I got going on. So here's one of the jacks. It's the rolling bridge jack for a 4-post lift. It's air over hydraulic. So my issue is this is as low as it'll go. So it's about 5 inches high. It's a little high for some vehicles, and especially to get under suspension parts to lift with. So I've studied this and I think I've got a solution to get this lower down. So what I've designed is this piece here. So here's the arm removed from the jack. This is just one side, and then here's my new plate. So the new plate is going to replace this plate here. So it's a fair bit of cutting, so we got to remove this piece of angle. We've got to remove these two end pieces off here, and then we've got to remove these pieces. So just take your time, take a cut off wheel, cut these welds. Just be sure not to cut into the part that you're saving. So let's get this cut apart and I'll show you the next step. Alrighty, got this thing all cut apart. Got my parts harvested that I'm going to reuse. So the only thing I'm not going to reuse is this plate and this piece here. So that took about 15 minutes, maybe a little under. But the key is using this 6-inch Metabo. So this thing is way better than a 4.5-inch grinder. So you absolutely can do this with a 4.5-inch grinder, but it's going to take a little longer. But just be sure when you're cutting this apart that you're not cutting into what you're wanting to save. Okay, I have a little bit of grinding to do, but that's okay. I'd rather do that than run the part. So now I'm gonna start getting everything cleaned up and weld prepped, and we'll start getting this thing going back together. So quick note on these arms, this piece is offset towards the bottom. So before you cut these off, mark them with the arrow pointing up. But if you do forget, just remember that these are closer to the bottom than they are the top. So now I'll transfer my measurements from the old plate onto the new one. So we're going to get set up and get those welded in. All right, get the first one set up to weld. So using this corner clamp, it's got this piece here that just barely sticks over. So I'll put me a piece of 3/4 in there to space it out. The important thing is to make sure you're flush at the bottom here. So get it square, get it flush there, and you're good to go. Alrighty, got those welded on. So one thing I want to point out, these are not MIG welded. This was done with the spray arc process. So if you got a little MIG welder, it's not going to do the trick. So you're either going to have to spray arc this or stick weld it. But a little 110 welder just isn't going to get in there. So I just want to point that out. So look, here's my settings. Wire feed 629 inches a minute at 28.2 volts. So you need enough welder to do this, but you really need to have a very competent welder weld this together. So this piece and the sides are very critical. Can't take no shortcuts here. Alright, so I'm set up for the next step. So this is what's going to make this all worth it. So I've got a piece of 1-inch tube, 1-inch tube, an 1.25-inch tube to give me my 2.5-inch distance. That's what you need here, is a 2.25-inch spacer. and then the little wheel housing, or whatever you want to call it. This piece right here, it needs to be flush. It can set back about a 30-second if you need it to, but don't go any further back with that. So you got this area to weld and the back side to weld on. And then now, of course, you want to keep this all nice, straight, and square. So this is what I'm talking about. This lip, you want flush there, or set back maybe a 32nd of an inch. Okay, last step for this is our little angle piece here. So I've got my 2.5 inch spacer. Conveniently fits under there. So this piece goes on, and I put me a little chamfer on this edge. But this piece only had a couple tacks on each side from the factory. So this is going to be far stronger. We're going to weld it here and we'll stitch it underneath. So this is the last part of the welding on this. So let me get this piece put on and I'll bring you back. Alrighty, so got this piece wrapped up, and as you can see, I had to stick weld that to reach up in there. So while this part's cooling off, let's move on to the last step, which is the rollers. So now when we lower this, this is going to stick up about 1/4 or 3/8 too high, or above the top of the jack now. So we're going to thread this down a little bit further, and then we can trim this off so everything will be on the same plane or lower. It's an M10 by 1.5 thread. We'll have this die on our website. So you'll be able to purchase this die on the website if you need it as well. So you want to clamp this in a vise. We clamp it above this axle and the little snap rings here. Okay, you don't want to damage that, and you don't have to crank this down super tight. So when you get your die on here, you're going to have about 3/8 stuck above the die. So I'm going to take this down another 3/8. So I should end up with 3/4 of an inch stuck above the die. Alrighty, so this shaft is already the right diameter, and this stuff is actually pretty soft. So there's really no reason to damage this die. If you use some lubricant and don't force it, it's going to go down there easy. So now I have my 3/4 of an inch. So let's put this thing back together. All right, there's that part done. So now when I slide the arm out, it's just barely off the bed of the lift. So it's as low as it can go, but the lift still goes all the way down to the floor. There's no problem there. So see how all that fits. Guys, I appreciate you watching. So these plates are available at perfectfab.com. If you would, give me a like and subscribe. And remember, you were created for a purpose. And we'll catch you on the next one.